Blue UAS can be manufactured in any non-covered country. The process, however, to do so looks a little bit different depending upon what country you're from. So we have Group A, which is platforms, components, and software from a United States-based company, and Group B, anything that's not United States. And you can see a lot more detail on what these two groupings are by going to the Blue List website, and there's some flow diagrams and charts on there for those two. Generally, Group A is a little bit easier. The process tends to be a little bit quicker and faster if you are based in the United States, or if the manufacturing of the aircraft is in the United States. For everything else, the process is still achievable, but there's a few additional steps. Diving in on the Group A side of the house, Option A is really for if you need to speed something up, or if you're looking for the government to assist in covering the bill for this, you can have a U.S. military nomination. So an O6 could nominate the product, and then there's a verification for an O7 or an SES. So an O6 is a colonel or above in the military, and an O7 is then a flag officer or a general officer. So I think any kind of general or admiral. Those may or may not end up going back down to the recognized assessors for review, and or some of these agencies may have their own sort of reviewing body. That's really the U.S. military option. The second option is if you don't have that kind of access, you don't have an O6 or an O7 plus that you can reach out to sponsor your product, you can always self-fund the process. The door is open to anybody at any given point in time, so long as you meet the general criteria to be a Blue UAS or a Blue UAS component. You can go on and fill out the framework. You can self-fund the assessment through any of the recognized assessors, and at the end of the day, that will get you through to the Blue List if you're successful, and you won't need any sort of other military member to help sponsor doing that. The same is true for Group B. There's essentially an option A and an option B. The option A is for those that have an agency. You can see that this is a little bit more restricted, so there's an empowered agency here. So it has to be one of these 7 or 6 entities. And if you split out the military departments, you'll have the Marine Corps and Navy and such. You still have the self-funded assessment. So this is where most companies end up going through is the self-funded assessment. But for example, drone dominance as a program is an example of an option A in both Group A and Group B, where the government is doing the assessment as a part of Gauntlet 1. So all the companies are participating in both the Gauntlet, but they're also doing their assessments during the event. The assessments are going on the side for those products. So a little bit on some of these changes that I've mentioned a couple times now with respect to the FCC. So you may have seen in late December that the FCC updates its covered list to include foreign UAS and UAS critical components. If you read through this notice, you'll note that the definition of what's covered is different for the FCC than it is for the NDAA. Also, the definition of what a foreign UAS is different than what's in the NDAA. The NDAA uses language such as covered foreign companies, whereas the FCC uses broader language, which is all foreign UAS companies. So that's anything that's not the United States. Same thing is true for the critical components. The critical components definition includes motors and batteries and other components for the FCC as well. So if you have a product that requires an FCC approval in order to operate, most radios or an aircraft that uses a radio or something to that effect, you will have to get a waiver from either the Department of War or the Department of Homeland Security.